Hello, dear subscribers. There are a lot of crypto assets now, but before it was not possible to exchange them all in the centralized manner. Instead, it was necessary to use centralized changers. Centralized changers are companies that need to take over your assets in order for you to exchange them. Until now, there has been no way to do this in a natural way for cryptocurrency. This is where no single individual takes control of your assets. In this video, we will look at the fundamental aspects of the THORChain project. The interest of the crypto community is growing. The project is top of the 20 projects in terms of discussion. More than 80% of the token are already staking. So let's take a look at the technical part. So the THORChain is a liquidity protocol based on the Terminal and the Cosmos SDK and uses Thor signature schemes (TCC) to create a liquidity market for digital assets that would be traded unworthy, authorization-free, and unreserved. The design of the THORChain liquidity marketplace eliminates the need for order book changes by the simply swapping one asset for another, and it provides additional benefits including resistance to manipulation and the price feed in the chain. THORChain can remain independent of the chain, not prioritize specific assets or the blockchains, and can scale without a competing security. There are four key rules in the system. The first one is the liquidity providers who are paid to provide liquidity. Second one is the swappers who use the liquidity for a one-time exchange of the assets by the paying commission. The third one is a trader who constantly monitor pools and rebalance the pay commission, but with the intention of marketing profit. The last one is node operators who provide the collateral and receive the money for the system security. So the BIP swap is a web client that is strictly limited to Bain's chain assets. It's not intended for a long-term maintenance. It will be replaced by the Sgardex instead. Sgardex is a censorship-resistant desktop client that would be the main portal of the system and provide the reference implementation. Sgardex can monitor the full transaction lifecycle and ensure THORChain compatibility. Sgardex uses open source NPM packages to provide the most of the business logic, so any community or the world or exchange the member can easily add THORChain integration. So the Midgard is open source API that run every sort node and provides a Calm API that any client can use to display the date as well as push the signed transaction back to connected chains. To connect to Midgard, a client like a wallet must first request multiple nodes to prevent an attack or the pushing the signs. The THORChain security model is strictly consistent. So the sort node signed and launched the network. Block explorers can connect the sort node to display underlying blockchain date. Sort nodes can be validators or the lightweight node that simply signs and displays the date. So the THORChain brings several existing technologies together to achieve its mission. So the first one is one-way state building, allow for a chain-independent bridging protocol. The second one is state machine for coordinating the logic of asset exchange and delegating buyout operators. The third one is the bear first signer model for the converting remediation transaction into chain specific transactions. The last one is the TCC protocol for enabling distributed threshold key signature. RUNE is an asset that supports the THORChain ecosystem and provides the economic incentive needed to secure the network. RUNE is a base currency that must be entered with each asset in the pools. Without its own settlement currency, each asset would have to be pooled with every other asset, which would eventually lead to the creation of hundreds of new pools for just one new asset, which would reduce the liquidity. Using the formula, we can calculate the network requirements for different scenarios. After the charging commission and the subsidizing gas, THORChain calculates the block reward, divides it based on the stimulation medium algorithm, and then pays out the bonding and the liquidity providers. This encourages nodes to tie an optional amount and pay liquidity providers for their liquidity contribution. I will tell you about such a development as liquidity providers, swap, traders, and the operators in the other video. On this, I have all friends share your opinion in the comments, and also subscribe to the channel to keep abstract of all events and the latest news of the crypto world.